If we plan to learn or to design AI or machine learning models, then more mathematical knowledge is always helpful. However, as a beginner, if we want to know what is the most important thing we should know, so we can enter this area quickly, then I would say it is the derivative. Let's see why the derivative or the partial derivative is the most important thing we need to know for developing new AI or machine learning models. For many AI or machine learning models, such as the linear regression and the neural network, we're giving input X and output Y. We call the training data. We try to use this data to train a model so that the output can be predicted from the input. For each model, we have a prediction function HSW, where X is from the input data, W is a set of weights to be decided. From the prediction function for each input xi, we can have the prediction of the output. By comparing this prediction with the real output, we can find their difference. By considering this difference for all input and output, we have the loss function. We can see the loss function is a function of weights. The goal of training a model is to find a special weight so that the loss function has its minimum value. The gradient descent method is one of the most important methods to train the model and find the minimum value of the loss function. For this method, first, we find the partial derivative of the loss function to all weights respectively. Then we can obtain the updating rule WR equal WI minus alpha times the partial derivative of the loss function to WI, where this alpha is a constant that is used to control the step size. For the training algorithm, we randomly set the initial value for all weights, then use the updating rule to update all weights for a number of times to get the minimum of the loss function, so the model can have the most accurate predictions. For example, for a very simple machine learning model, linear regression, the prediction function is a linear equation. If we also have the input and output x and y, then we can use them to compute the loss function. Here is the prediction of the output for x equal -1. Here is the real output, so we can compute their difference. Here is the prediction of the output for x equal 1, and here is the prediction of the output for x equals 3. We can see the loss function is a function of weights. Next, we can compute the partial derivative of the loss function to all weights respectively. Then we can have the updating rule. For different machine learning models, we will have different predict function and different training data. So we will have different loss function and a different partial derivative that lead to different updating rule. However, no matter what a machine learning model is, from the point of view of mathematics, they are very similar. Each AI or machine learning model and training data can decide a loss function. The loss function is a function of weights. The process of training the model is to find a special value of weights to get the minimum value of the loss function. This step is trivial. After we have the produce function and the training data, we can use them to compute the loss function directly. So the important thing for a machine learning model is how to find a special way to get the minimum value of the loss function. If we can still remember what we have learned in calculus, the derivative is a very good tool that can help us to find the minimum or maximum of a function. This is why I say the derivative is the most important thing we should know if we want to design a new AI or machine learning models. Thanks.